Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Mandrago's Cave. Today we are gonna be talking about chapter 1152, An Awful Day, while we draw Jarundine. Jarundine is one of the new giant pirates, okay? So I wanna explain a little bit about, I want to analyze a little bit the episode, talk a little bit about Jarundine, talk a little bit about the giants, okay, talk a little bit about what's going on. 1152 has come packed with information, and as I can see, packed with information between the lines as well. There are some things that are unsaid, and by not saying those things, Oda is implying a couple of things, okay? So I'm gonna go page by page a little bit while we draw Jarundine. We have this space more or less to draw him. I'm gonna do the drawing that he has with the new outfit, with the cape and everything, with his cloak and everything that he has. So let's do kind of the area that we are gonna be having him here. That's gonna be the axe, massive axe that he has. And even if Jarundine is not like a crazy strong giant, I think he has still a very important role to play here, and Oda has introduced him like that recently, so I expect great things from him. Even if his power can't be compared to Loki, Luffy, Dory, Brogy, physically I mean, as a powerhouse, he's very strong, but we saw him already in Dressrosa, how he had his limitations, okay? He was a strong guy, yes, but we wouldn't show him as oh my god, this guy is so strong, even if he's the leader or he's the captain or he's the prince there, okay, as well. So I think something like this, kind of to situate more or less our guy, it can be very interesting. The legs are gonna be like this, like here, okay, and I can start defining more or less the whole thing while we start with the episode, okay? So, An Awful Day. We start with the cover story. Yamato already met Kawamatsu, they're giving the hat. We have the guys from Tobiropo, they are there as well, and we see them giving, kind of, they are talking as well, engaging in conversation. I like to see these kind of interactions, and the brothers, Ulti and Page 1, I always like them. I don't think I have drawings of them yet, but it's interesting how the story is developing for them. Like, kind of, I like when we have returning characters all the time, like Boggy, Crocodile, etc., because they have some parts in the story that are relevant for the end, okay? So, without delaying more, in Page 1, kind of, we see the burst of haki, everything. There's a lot of tension at the moment in these scenes. Gerd is there in the first drawing, basically, and the other guys, the other giants, are asking her to take care of this filth. Basically, that's Loki, and she's like, yeah, got it, no problem, basically. But her face during the whole episode, a couple of times when all of them are talking about this, about that, referring to Loki about being bad, I think Gerd knows everything. I think Gerd was hiding somewhere when Loki did whatever he did, and Loki knows. And Gerd is kind of playing along because she kind of respects, even if it is very difficult situation, she kind of respects that Loki decided to take the blame, I would say. During the whole episode, if you pay attention to her face, it is drawn in a kind of expression that is kind of, you guys are not right, but it's not my place to say it. And please pay attention to that, and if you are reading the episode after maybe watching this video, go and have a special attention to that part, okay? Because for me, this is one of those things that I said is in between the lines, okay? It's not something that is Oda is expressing, but it's in between the lines, okay? So the giants are you know, goofing around, oh, let's go, this, that, be careful, blah, blah, blah. They're gonna go. They are not much relevant in the story, but then Chopper, obviously, decides to stay, obviously, because he's the doctor, like Gert is the doctor as well. That's why she is staying, not because she's a girl, not because she's weaker, not because she, etc., etc. Nothing in that line. She stays because Loki is wounded, okay, and he's, you know, connected with the blood and everything, and that is the only reason. If not, she would go. If Loki wouldn't be in that situation, if Jasan Gaban wouldn't be in that situation, she would go as well, okay? But just so we kind of picture in our minds the reason why they are separating again. Oda loves to separate them, and I'm gonna tell you why. As we go into the episode, you will see that they separate again in two groups, and Luffy cannot reach the fight yet. Luffy, Loki, Gerondine need to reach that point later, because they are gonna be the key to kind of, I wouldn't say win the battle or win the fight, but I would say to conclude that situation, okay? Let's draw like this. I wanna do it loose, a little bit, you know, like I always do, my kind of cartoony style as well, and this is not gonna be kind of cartoony, but it's gonna be like this tiny we are drawing here. Okay, maybe this one should go a little bit higher, like this. Like this. Yeah, Gerondine has the same type of beard that his father has as well. So basically, Luffy is gonna stay. Luffy is gonna. He accepts. He says, "Yes, Luffy. Chopper obviously stay here with Jasan," and basically he says, "Be careful. Be careful with how you use the Conqueror's Haki, because these guys basically are immortal. So he's not gonna teach them how to action or how to perform that type of Haki that he used to cut Summers yet." But maybe this is gonna be an underlying conversation that is gonna happen with Chopper and Gert. Chopper followed him, especially before he was pierced and thrown away, and you know, from the tree, because he wanted to see how to use that technique. So it could be that is something that we see going forward. I don't imagine Chopper having a role as such, like a big role, like we will see him saving the day, I will say, but and I don't see him either learning this strong technique. I think this is more a technique that the top tiers like Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Jinbei, maybe they should actually learn, but Chopper, I don't see him anymore as a fighting character. I see him more as the doctor that is going to be helping and healing and everything. That's actually his role. His role is not as a fighter, but in One Piece we always had all of them fighting a little bit. But feel free as well to tell me in the comments if you disagree with this, and if you think that Chopper is one of the fighters, but the role is clear. The role is clear as a doctor, and we see in this scene how he's staying behind, Gerd is staying behind, okay, even if later they fight a little bit. Luffy is kind of not worried about anything. She's like, count on me, I'll have this, and that's very interesting. We jump into Loki kind of understanding, like, oh, now this clicked for me, I understand because your words, and I kind of see with my own power. So Loki has faced these guys before, he says. We don't know yet when, but he wants to fight. He wants to fight for the sake of fighting since day one. But in this specific drawing, he is very kind of determined, I will say. The drawing is kind of a person that he's not in a hungry way, like oh, I'm hungry for fighting. He's kind of wise, I would say. I will describe this drawing as a wise man who is kind of saying, I am acknowledging my own power, I know how strong I am, and that is no argument. There is no argument about that. And I completely think, I 100% think that you need me to be able to throw them away, okay, like kick them out of Elbaf. This is 100% sure, because later on we will see that he will stay a little bit more, he will stay behind with Luffy, he will stay behind with Jarundin to explain a couple of things, and all of these, let's say, tension that is gonna happen now going forward with, you know, Dory Brogy taking over, being super strong, and, you know, the guys fighting them as well, trying to stop them and everything. They are gonna be maybe equally matched. They can't win until Luffy and Loki show up. I foresee here, I kind of expect in the last minute when Dory and Brogy are gonna cut maybe Jarul in two, that maybe Loki and Luffy will be able to one-shot both of them, something like that, okay, and throw them away. Not detransform them, but throw them away, and separate them from the fight. I see that happening, and I see as well what I said before. I made a post, I think it was yesterday morning, before reading the episode, saying Usopp needs to awaken. Usopp needs to say what's in his mind. The distress that he has in his mind needs to be kind of shown. His whole goal is to become someone like Dory and Brogy. I think he is already in that position, but he is not acknowledging yet. But his whole goal in One Piece is for him to become like these two guys. So it makes sense for me that he has a mental breakdown here, and we see awakening of Haki, awakening of Conquerors, awakening of Observation Haki, awakening of many things. I think if there is moments and moments for Usopp to awaken something, this, with Dory and Brogy issue, is one of them, okay? But for that, we need first to see how these two guys overcome the rest of the enemies. They are taking over Jarul, they are taking over the city, no one is coming yet, you know, Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, they are not arriving yet. Usopp is kind of restless, in distress, crying, very sad, very furious, and he can't actually do anything. Even if he's throwing attacks at them from the distance, the attacks are being kind of useless. I think that's what's gonna happen with Usopp, that Usopp is gonna see that he's powerful, yes, but he can't actually stop these two guys yet. And the frustration because of that, and the frustration after seeing these great warriors of the sea being manipulated in such a way, is gonna break Usopp in a way, like when we saw, as I said it in that post, when we saw Luffy crying for Ace, when we saw Luffy stressed because of Bone in Impel Down, and all the wolves fainted, and all of these moments that Luffy had this Haki awakening, we need this distress with Usopp as well. And I can't wait because I love Usopp, and it can be very, very nice, to be honest. I want to know your opinion about this. But yeah, so basically, as I was saying, Loki is asking Jarundin to release him. I want to fight, and Jarundin is not gonna take it. I like this image of Jarundin with the face. He has like a 3/4. Let's say this is when you are facing, and the camera. Let's say this is the side view, and when you are like this, okay, looking like in diagonal like this, or the other way around like this is 3/4. There is this image of Jarundin like this 3/4, and this design saying like, I will ever take you with us, like no way I'm gonna trust you because what you've done before, basically. This is another one of those things in between the lines, in my opinion. The design of the face and the helmet. The helmet, since day one I've seen it, is the how was called the bird, the south bird, in Skypiea saga, that we need to capture this bird that is always, the head is always pointing in the same direction, and when you twist the head, it's gonna ping, it's gonna point to the same direction anyway. So the helmet that he has is very Aztec, Mayan, and in this sense of animal in One Piece, referencing this bird. This means, as a character designer myself, this means Gerondine has his opinion. He's like a very strong opinion person, and he's not gonna change opinion. If he says, I am not gonna release you, he's not gonna release him. And that is, I think, absolutely important, absolutely relevant for the story, because he's a wild card. Loki is a wild card, and he's not sure what's gonna happen with him, but he prefers to stay on the safe side. What is the meaning of this? The meaning of this is, in my opinion, Gerondine has the potential to be a good ruler. Gerondine has been put on a side in Elbaf because he is mixed blood, because he is someone who comes from another mother, a mother that is not acknowledged by the Elbaf people. That means the mother is not from Elbaf. I will come back to this later at the end of the story, at the end of the chapter, because there is a panel at the end of the chapter that I think it is very relevant to what's going to happen with this. But I think Gerondine has a lot of tickets to, when Elbaf is done, to become the next king, mixed blood king in Elbaf, Gerondine. I would say, okay? I think I'm just gonna move this a little bit up, maybe, like this. Yeah, I wanna see that I wanna make sure that we are in focus. I think, yes, we are in focus, very nice, yes. We are almost done with the sketch, okay? We're almost done with the sketch. There is a lot of information, so I want to focus in the drawing, yes, absolutely, but I need to explain all the things I want to explain, because I loved this episode. I'm enjoying a lot the lore drop that we are having since the whole Vegapunk story and Egghead story started. After Wano, Oda started to kind of pump a lot of information inside the chapters, and I said it here 1,000 times and I will not get tired of saying it. I love the lore. The lore in One Piece is for what I live, for what I wanna watch the story, because I wanna learn about Gerondine, I wanna learn about all of them, and at the moment Oda is delivering, and I'm enjoying it. If Oda, for whatever reason, this video ends up in your feed and you watch it, thank you very much, because I am enjoying it like I'm a kid, and I think to make a good story like this and to make me feel like this, like probably plenty of other people out there is feeling like this as well, is something very beautiful, very nice, and very exciting. I learn and I drink from One Piece to feed my imagination, and I love it. It's kind of like something infinite. Like there are so many powers, so many things that I love it. So I love it. I guess by being here in the channel with me, you understand already. You see already my point of view in all of this, and you feel similar. You feel similar because it is very nice. So Gavan is saying there's another guy, another person in the group, in your group, who uses Conqueror's Haki. He is looking at Sanji and Zorro. There is this kind of joke. Sanji jumps, oh, very excited like a kid. Is it me? Blah, 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 you know. Jinbei and Zorro thought they're gonna usurp my kind of protagonism, I would say. You know, okay? This kind of protagonism, basically. So Rayleigh is basically ignoring Sanji, and because he's locked in, he's looking at Zorro, he's saying, the swordsman, you there, your body seems to be getting used, like accustomed to the Conqueror's Haki, and Zorro is kind of in a sweat. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's asking Luffy, actually, I have Conqueror's Haki, and Luffy can detect these things now, so he already is aware, and he's surprised that Zorro didn't know. No one has taught Zorro about Conqueror's Haki, so I understand, like we had as well previous training with Luffy, that Zorro needs as well some sort of training as well. Luffy says that it's oozing out of you, like this aura that he's kind of throwing away. So these kind of demons that when he's fighting, he's kind of with these visions that he creates with his swords and everything. That is basically Conqueror's Haki in his way of fighting, basically. And I like it. So we knew this already. It's not something new for us. But as I said many times, when we are watching these kind of stories, we need to understand that the characters, the people, like Zorro in this case, he needs to know what's happening to him from someone else. Someone else needs to tell him, hey, by the way, this is going on. Because he's not reading One Piece, obviously, like us. We saw what happened in Wano with him, fighting King and everything, and we said, oh yes, Conqueror's Haki. But and fighting Kaido as well, but he doesn't know, so he needs some sort of information being delivered to him. And I understand it. Some people will say, oh, this is repetitive. It is not repetitive because Zorro as a person, as an individual, he doesn't know what's happening yet, okay? He's upset, like Gavan is upset. He's kind of very focused. It's saying you should understand and tame this. You can't leave this uncontrolled, and you must be meticulous. Zorro is very meticulous in his way of fighting, in his way of training, in his kind of determination to be the best. And Zorro is a little bit kind of ashamed, I will say, in that drawing, in that panel. He's kind of acknowledging the information, receiving the information, and respecting this old man opinion, and saying, kind of, yeah, he needs to do this. I like the parallelism. Gavan being the person who is telling this to Zorro, because we were all of us comparing Gavan to Sanji, because this kind of lady interest that very similar to Sanji and everything, but we kind of matched Rayleigh is Zorro, Gavan is Sanji, etc., etc. But in the previous episode, Gavan said that, oh no, wait, I am the strongest, actually, stronger than Rayleigh. So if that is true, it makes sense that now the conversation happens between the two characters, because this will support as well my concept, my idea that I said some time ago, and I say a lot in the channel, that Vista is the one who is going to fight Zorro. Okay, I'm going to put the video here. I was talking about it the other day with Shiryu as well. Gavan was the one fighting Vista all the time in the flashbacks, so it makes sense that that guy is kind of giving some tips to Zorro now, because Zorro is going to have to fight that guy in the future with the Diamond Fruit. So everything starts to fall in place, I would say, okay? Let's do this kind of stuff, this baton first, that is axe. Okay, like this, and like this. I love the design of the weapons as well here in One Piece. It's very nice, and I like it more obviously when it's the manga design, that this is drawings made by Oda and his team. Okay, the main characters are most of the time drawn by Oda, and the secondary information in the episodes are drawn by his staff members. Like he has 4 or 5 guys, girls, people working with him, okay, through the years. These people are changing every now and then, but yeah, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the circles for the hand as well, and then the decoration here. This still continue a little bit down here at the bottom. Okay, I love it. It looks so nice. This drawing, I absolutely love it. Let's do the cloak, this kind of giant bear fur cloak is going here through the side. Okay, we will define this in a moment with the fine liner. Okay, but for now the insides are gonna be black. All of this is gonna be black. Okay. And the chest, this is very strong neck that he has here, and the cape is gonna go this way, and then the six-pack, Geraldine six-pack, and the arm as well here. Let's not forget about the arm. Okay, I think we are kind of done with this, and we can start the fine liner, I would say. Okay, I think we should, yeah. So this very, very interesting conversation between Gaban and Zorro is happening, and Sanji, then she gets kind of a little bit upset, let's say, and he's like, "Oh, old man, what about me? Tell me about me." And then that conversation is cut because Loki starts shouting that you know, you are pathetic, Geraldine, you're gonna leave other people to kind of leave them to protect our land, blah blah blah, but that conversation with Sanji is still going on underneath. This is another line happening in the episode, where Sanji's face and this kind of texture flying around him is that he has received some shocking information from Gaban that made him realize about something. Is this Gaban telling him, "Oh, don't worry, you will have as well Conqueror's Haki"? No, I think it's the contrary. I think he said to Sanji there, "You will never have Conqueror's Haki." That is my opinion, and that is why that is what I think it happened with this scene. And why, you will wonder. I think it's very clear. Luffy wants to be the pirate king. That's the best. Zorro wants to be the best swordsman. That means the number one. Those are conqueror type of things. They want to conquer the pirates, they want to conquer the swordsmanship, they want to conquer. Okay, that's why they are awakening Conqueror's Haki. And Sanji is a character that he doesn't want to conquer anything. He just wants to cook for his friends, help his friends, protect his friends, and be loved, because no one loved him in his family. He was already a conqueror, he was already a prince of a kingdom, a very important, a very big kingdom, and he decided to go away from that. So I think what happened here, the underlying message of this is probably he even referred to him like that. He said, "Oh, Germa 66 boy," kind of to understand what I'm telling you. Germa 66 boy, you flee from your country, from your people, because you didn't want to be a king, you didn't want to be a prince, you didn't want to be that type of people. Okay, you don't want to be a ruler. What you are, maybe it's not in these specific words, but what you are is someone who wants to be free, sail the seas, cooking for his friends, and finding adventure and finding land, or in this case, ocean, the all blue. So he doesn't want to conquer the sea as such. He wants to be explorer, basically, let's say. That is the explorer role. So probably, I suspect that this is gonna bring a change in Sanji, and we see this afterwards as well. Sanji is gonna accept it, is gonna respect it, is gonna embrace this, and is gonna support Zorro being a conqueror. We will still have these dynamics where they are fighting, joking, blah blah blah, who is best, who is not best, but we are gonna see Sanji siding more with Zorro from now on. I think that's gonna be something very important. So let's continue a little bit with this, because we can come back in the next panel when this comes back a little bit in the story. Okay, so basically, Geraldine is very upset. You know, you're gonna stab Elbaf back. in the back, you are a government dog because he killed the father. That is the official story that everyone knows. But you see how the face that Loki is making after seeing his brother not being able to trust him is a very sad face, a very frustrated face, like, I'm not telling you the truth. If I would tell you the truth, you wouldn't be saying this, brother. I love you. He said it a couple of episodes ago. I love you, brother. And Jarundin, as I said, because he represents in this aspect this kind of type of bird, he is being more and more serious about it. A ruler needs to be fixed and needs to be strong in his determination, until proven the contrary, obviously. But I think that is going to be a very important thing. They are, Goldberg and Stansted and the other guys are rushing them to leave, and Luffy basically shouts to Loki, "Join my crew." I liked it so much because it reminded me when he said this to Chopper, he said this to Brook, he said this to almost all of them, and because Luffy in this situation is above Jarundin. Jarundin pledged filthy loyalty to Luffy when they drank the cups. Luffy didn't want to, but he did it anyway. So this is gonna play against Jarundin in this aspect, and I love it. Loki obviously doesn't want, Jarundin obviously doesn't want, but Zorro and Sanji are kind of joking, like the same way that they did when Brook was asked to join because, what are we going to do with a skeleton in our crew? Exactly the same thing, and it can be interesting. I do not think Loki is going to go with Luffy. I think Loki is too like Oden, maybe. He needs a little bit more of independence. Even if Oden end up joining both massive pirate crews, I don't see them joining as a crew member. I don't see that happen. But we may see a little bit of time spent with them, like we see Momo and Lo and the guys spending time with them. That I wouldn't discard the idea because it can be interesting just for the sake of Elbaf duration and what's going to happen with Elbaf. Luffy is quite convinced that just he can one punch him like for Frankie. This is very similar to Frankie's joining, like he joins, and if he does something I will defeat him, and I find it interesting, so I'm curious to see how it's gonna be the development of this. I say it here, okay. I don't think we are gonna see Loki joining as such, like he's gonna be the new Nakama. And Luffy invited many people, like Gaimon, and the tree and the zebra from the Moria saga and everything. But it can be interesting. I wanna see what's gonna happen with that. Okay, so let's keep now drawing all the muscles here, and he has this kind of animal skin here, and then he has this kind of body protection, this and this. I want to know your opinion. This episode I think is very, very interesting, and obviously I'm talking, but I want to know 100% your opinion as well, okay? We have Jarundin has this kind of plaques on the chest here protecting the stomach. This is something that they used to be in Japan. In Japan, in China, when they had the armors for, let's say, the samurai warriors, for example, they had this kind of textures, and it was some of the time could be bone, it could be jade as well, and this is very, very, very strong materials that if you would be stabbed there, for example, that will protect you. It will protect you against the blades, for example. Okay, just so you just a little bit of trivia there in between comments of the panels. So Loki doesn't want to be anyone's underling. He is a king. He is a prince. He doesn't want to do anything like that. He looks like demonic in that image, but he will end up befriending Luffy more and more, and that's it. And Luffy is just curious about seeing him fighting, and that's gonna be the test. That's why he's waiting. That's why he is gonna be taking Loki with him under his wing to fight Imu and the rest of the guys. Okay, so again they keep rushing them, and basically what I said, Gerundine's determination, even Luffy is his, let's say, captain of the fleet. Gerundine is kind of saying, I am not gonna give you a criminal. But if you think about it, all of them are criminal, even Gerundine. So, because Gerundine is a pirate, so all of them are criminals there. So what's gonna happen with that? That Luffy will end up doing whatever he wants, like he always does. He always does. So I like it, and I want to see how that is gonna pan, because Oda is the king of surprises, and he always, even if I guess a little bit a theory or something, he always comes with something that I wasn't expecting, and I enjoy that so much, okay? So I can't wait to see what's gonna be with this. I think we're doing good progress. There is a lot of tiny details in this character, plus there is a lot of, as well, talk in the episode, so sorry if I'm a little bit kind of jumping from one point to another, but we need to be able to address everything, I would say, okay? Let's do this, like this. Obviously, we are drawing here cartoony, okay? We are drawing more simple than Oda will draw. Let's carry on a little bit. So, Gaban, that is injured there on the floor with Chopper, he shouts there when they are leaving. He says, Gerundine, release Loki, okay? I think here we are seeing Gaban, first of all, feeling that Loki is hiding something. Second of all, trusting that Luffy can control him, because he needs to go berserker, okay? He needs to go crazy, and Luffy is gonna have to stop him at some point. That needs to happen, because we need to see the range of his power. We need to see how of a threat he would be if he actually gonna escape, okay? So that is, in my opinion, very interesting. Let's do the lines, these arms that Magpie's broke, like a nobody in Doflamingo's crew broke his arms and everything, and now he can't be a fighter as such. He needs to be a support character. He can be a ruler, a leader character, but he can't be someone who is gonna defeat God's Knight. He can't be someone who is gonna be able to stop Loki. So Gerundine has his limitations, and it's okay. He's like let's say like the Usopp of the group. He's a human. He can do many things, yes, but he is, at the end of the day, a normal guy. Strong, yes, but he's a normal guy. So I don't expect a big fight from him, okay? Let's do this, the circle here. Looking nice, looking nice. After Gaban says this, okay, Gerundine, our guy, goes very stressed and starts enumerating. I can't release him because this, he's a bad guy. And again, all the crew is looking very tense, but Gerd, again, the first one, Gerd, is looking like you don't know what you're talking about, kind of. What you know is like a lie, something made up to protect you. And if you were she's kind of thinking, if you were actually aware of what happened, like I am, you wouldn't be stopping him. They need to reconcile at the end of the story, at the end of the day. So I like it. I like it the way Gert is gonna play a kind of important role here. I think she's gonna. I expect some sort of Nami situation, like maybe she's gonna slap Gerundine at some point and say, how could you have believed for so long that your brother will do this after blah blah blah. I expect some sort of, because there is a frustration in her that needs to be released, and like Sanji slapped Sanji, like Nami slapped Sanji when Sanji kicked Luffy in the face and left with the German 66 in the Big Mom saga. I see something like that happening with these two guys. Probably at the end of the story, when kind of Gerundine is still being a little bit of a bully in this aspect. He's kind of taking revenge from the bully times that he had. She's gonna slap him and say, you are not this bully. the situation made you like this, but you were the one being bullied, so you should understand your brother better than anyone. It is very, very interesting. I'm very excited about seeing these things, because I like the human part. I like when some random secondary character or background character like Gerd has the potential to do something like that. I find it very, very interesting, to be honest. Jason confirms that on the day that this something happened, he was with Shanks. He felt some kind of strange pressure, strange presence, and not everything is what it looks. And this is changing a little bit the perspective then through Gerondine. Gerondine says to the guys, go ahead without me, I will stay. Luffy says, Zorro, Sanji, go ahead without me, I will stay as well. So they are gonna separate, as I said at the beginning. They are gonna separate because we wanna see the clash of Zorro against Killingham, probably the clash of Sanji against Summers, probably, or probably these two guys are gonna clash again with Dory and Brogy, that we see as well. There is some fight in Little Garden. Jason it's reminding us about Little Garden, and that is something that Oda does all the time for you to think what happened in that saga. Was Zorro fighting blah blah blah, or was Zorro in a competition with Sanji to hunt the biggest dinosaur? Yes. So here as well they will have a little bit of competition. What happens afterwards in this panel? That Zorro is saying that this dumb Shanks thing again, and Luffy is like, don't call Shanks dumb. And what is doing Sanji? What I said before. He is gonna start siding with Zorro now more and more, and you will see. He says, he means you are dumb, not Shanks. Okay? So you haven't seen Sanji siding with Zorro yet in the story. Ever. Because they have this rivalry. Like brotherhood. They are like brothers. They are like brothers. They want to see who is the best brother and the strongest brother and everything. That's good. But I don't see... there will be rivalry, yes, 100%, but I see a change in the attitude. I see a change in Sanji, where Sanji is gonna support Beta. He's gonna support Beta Zorro. He's gonna say, go and do this, take care of this. Because if you think about it, Luffy is the main character, yes, and Zorro is the second main character. Zorro is going all the time. Like, for example, Luffy heads to the rooftop to fight Kaido, Zorro goes to fight Kaido. And everyone thinks, the animators thought that this guy was the main character, but he is actually main character too. So Sanji stays behind. Sanji controls the floor, fights the other next big guy. He has this kind of thing. Now, he's gonna be taking that responsibility even more. He is gonna be saying, oh, Zorro, you go. It's your role to go as a vice captain, as a first in command, as a not that he's gonna tell him, oh, you are the first in command, but he is gonna say, I'll take care of things here. Okay, maybe he's able to say, I will take care of Dory and Brogy, don't worry about that, and you go and fight Killingham, that is stronger, or you go and fight Summers, that is stronger. Okay, something like that. I see it happening, kind of Sanji accepting his role in the crew. Sanji, if he's spending most of his time cooking, preparing the food and everything, while Zorro is training, Sanji can never be as strong as Zorro, okay? And this is a fact. I am not against Sanji, I am not pro-Zorro, I am just pro-story and what makes sense in the story. If we think about this properly, the concept of training that Zorro has, this discipline that Zorro has, is extreme. And how is someone who is cooking, even if cooking can train him and give him that? How has been someone who has been 2 years, the time skip time, fighting Mihawk, fighting gorillas, fighting every single day. There is no food, there is no drink until you win these fights. The instructions that he was having from his sensei in that point, Mihawk, okay? And Sanji was fighting, yes, defeating these Okamas, but for recipes, to train recipes in different aspects, like the recipes that are gonna help you heal faster, help you be in a better position to fight. The roles are different. Okay, that's why each one of them, that's why Luffy is one of these guys that loves to say, if I wouldn't have Sanji, I wouldn't be able to become kings of the pirates. That is why Luffy is like that, and that's why Luffy says this thing when he is living with the German 66. If you don't come back to me, this is the situation with when Nami slapped him that I told you. If you don't come back to me, I cannot become king of the pirates. Why? Because he can't take care of his own food, his own diet, and all these things. Sanji, that's what Sanji's gonna do. Okay? That's what Sanji's gonna do. So, like he shouted, and it's one of the best moments, one of my favorite moments of Sanji in the whole story, to Sogeking, and he says, I'll take care of this, of Jabura. You go and do what I can't do. Do what the thing that you are the only one who can do, and that's basically shoot Spandam, burn the flag and all these things, and stop Spandam to cross the line and put Robin in the boat, like from the distance. Sanji didn't have distance attack. So imagine Sanji is very clever, Sanji is very wise, and after this kind of notch from Gaban, he's gonna respect it and he's gonna say, actually that's true. Actually, I can't actually ignore this anymore, and I need to support a little bit better somehow Zorro in these aspects, because he's gonna be a king. He's gonna be the best swordsman in the world, and I expect as well a moment where he's gonna say it. He's gonna say it, like someone is gonna put Sanji in a situation that Sanji's a little bit, against the wall, and kind of this disrespecting Zorro. And like everyone is saying at the moment, no, Luffy is gonna become the king of the pirates. I expect Sanji to be the only one and the one to say, no, Zorro is gonna become the best swordsman in the world. And that I just got goosebumps just saying that, because it can be such a moment for the Nakama concept, for the fellowship concept, for the brotherhood concept there, and very nice. So the story continues, and Gaban is basically saying he's acting like a teacher there, like in a school. Two kids have a problem, and the teacher will take the kids and I will say, okay, you're gonna sit there and you're gonna talk about it. And he says this, we are gonna sit here all of us, and he's gonna tell us the story. So Loki is a little bit reluctant to do it. He doesn't want to do it because obviously he's protecting his own image. He doesn't want to be seen as a protector. He doesn't want to be a hero, like Luffy doesn't want to be a hero either. He wants to be a pirate, okay? And I love that. A lot of similarities with these two characters. And then, as a good ruler, again, that he will end up being, Jarondine puts Loki's determination at the stake in a situation, in a proper entanglement there, and he says, okay, upset and determined. He said, okay, yes, I'm gonna listen to you, but you're gonna tell me the story, and you're gonna swear by our gods and everything that we love here in Elbaf, and by your honor and everything, that what you're saying here is true. And now he's gonna have to reveal the truth. Loki is like, oh my god, brother, you are cruel, kind of. You know that I am loyal to Elbaf up to the core, so I need to tell the story. And I like that moment as well, because it shows how Loki is the little brother. It shows how Loki is willing to support his brother if he's gonna rule. I see a lot of underlining here, and again, when Loki says this, that who is afterwards in a shadow drawn, like in a gray shade, Gerd. because Gert knows. That's all. She's thinking, this is the moment I've been waiting. He is actually gonna reveal the truth, and I'm gonna be able to slap Gerundin on the face, because how dare you not to trust your brother when your brother, or how dare you not doubt the things that people are saying about your brother, if you are the brother, even if all the bad things that he did to you, how wouldn't you protect your little brother, and you will let your brother to be thingy. So I don't have any doubt that that's gonna happen. But yeah, Zoro and Sanji leave, and then Loki starts the story. He says, I don't want to remember, I don't want to explain this was an awful day. And there we go into the flashback. Loki arrives into the castle. He has been summoned by the king. We don't know what the king wants. The King Harald, his father. Okay. Jarul has been summoned as well. He arrives with a ship, with a drakkar. The drakkars are the type of ships that the Vikings used to navigate. Okay, this kind of long boats with the dragon type of heads. They didn't only have dragons. They have many shapes for the head, and as well, this is the ones that they have the shields on the sides. Okay, so Jarul arrives, Loki arrives. They are walking, talking, and haha, he summoned you too. Blah blah blah. And he's like, well, actually, this is my house. So what are you talking about, old man? This is my house. And he is basically joking, like saying to the father, kind of, he's superior to the father. He's saying, like, oh my, let's see what this government dog wants. So what did I say in this video about Jarul? Jarul and King Harald were working with the government. I said it. Jarul is a corrupted man. Jarul here, in these images, at the moment, when Loki is saying all these things about the government dog, Jarul looks very innocent, like a puppy. But this is the man who wanted to kill Lin when she was a kid, because unconsciously and with a fit of craziness, she killed the brother. And he wanted to kill a kid. So how is this guy aiming for peace? Because he has some secrets hiding. I don't have any doubt, and I am very curious to see when this is gonna be revealed. So what's happening after this? One of the times that we see someone calling government dog to someone else is regarding as well the Shichibukais, that they will do whatever the Shichibukais, whatever the government needs, the Shichibukais will go and do it. Okay, very important, very important comparison. Like, Harald works for the government. Okay, Harald wants peace, yes, and he was like a benevolent king, a good king and everything, yes, but we still need to see what happened there and why he was killed, basically. So we know that Loki is a fanboy of rocks, and he says he sold out the people who he sold out to the people who killed rocks. So basically he partnered ship for the Marines, for the government, and the ones who killed Rocks. I don't think Rocks is a bad guy. I said it as well 1,000 times here. I think Rocks was like Luffy, like a very crazy guy like Luffy, not a bad guy. And basically, you know, there's an argument there. There is all these kids now, they are not fighters, they have become weak. This is a plan that Imu has been doing so they can control them. And Jarul's face is like, yeah, he knows what we've been doing. I'm gonna paint with this Derwent Academy sketch in 3H the grays, because I like the tone of this pencil for painting some aspects of the gray stones. Okay, so I'm gonna be doing like this, and later we will do a couple of lines with the other tone. Okay, so don't worry about only doing this. We will add a little bit of black as well and a little bit of greenish here to these areas, but for now with the pencil it can be good. So he thinks that because of the peace making that Jarul has been creating with the father, and they have become weak, they have become powerless, and Loki doesn't want to accept it. That's why he goes for free, and he's not basically caring much about anyone anymore else, because he doesn't like it. He's not normal, and he wouldn't bend the knee to someone who he knows. If he's a fanboy of rocks, he knows he has inside information, and to be a Loki kid, fan of rocks means that rocks must have been sometime in Elbaf, must have befriended the royal family, must have been doing some things around Elbaf, and that's why these guys know him. So it's like you are telling me that someone will say, oh, they are gonna kill Luffy, and now you're gonna side with the people who killed Luffy. And obviously, this is how Loki feels, and he will say, oh, I don't trust anything that you're gonna do from now on, and I'm gonna go on my own. And that's what happens. That's what happens there. Very nice, to be honest, very nice, but I'm curious. I'm very curious to see what's gonna happen there. So let's do the skin. I don't have the exact tone for the cape. The cape is a little bit of a rusty color, and I'm thinking how I'm gonna do that part at the moment. Let's see. Painting a little bit. You know that I don't like to paint the whole skin like the whole thing. Probably what I'm gonna do is I have another brown there. Okay. I have this brown here that I could give a pass. Yes, I could give a pass with this brown. And it can give us a little bit of a sense that there is something here. And then with the black we will fix it. With the blacks we will fix the difference between the browns, and that's it. But it needs to be brown like this, because I don't have the other color. Okay. It's looking very nice. Looking very nice, the drawing, I have to say. I like it. I like to do the stance like a straight. I know sometimes you do more dynamic and you show the character a little bit of movement, and sometimes we do it as well, or in a position, but I liked this Gerundin presentation in the new Giants, and it's very interesting. I always like to kind of choose my favorites to the drawings. This is the same color, this as well. Okay. And we can do this because it's pretty similar to the one here, and we will paint it in black as well in a bit. This one, and this one here. Shall we do a little bit more here on the face? Yes, I think we should. Yeah, something like this makes sense. So Loki is basically calling Jarul a coward. They have aligned with the world government, and he doesn't like it. So they try to go inside the castle, inside the throne room, and they are thinking about, oh, there is something going on in there. I could hear some weird sound in there, and they don't want to let Loki go in. They don't want to get Loki go in because he has some sort of something is going on in there, so they don't want the son to go in there and see the father, what's happening with the father. So he ends up breaking the door, and Jarul and Loki, both of them, go inside. And what they see is, for the surprise of both of them, is the king being stabbed by plenty of guys. There are plenty of giants there that they are surrounding him, and with the spears, with the Bicentos, that is the same type of weapon that Whitebeard is carrying, they are piercing him, they are killing him, okay? And obviously, surprise, Harald is being killed, Jarul is surprised, shouting, Loki is crazy, like, what the hell are you doing? And obviously, there is where I think he kills them all. I think there is Loki kills them all, and I think what's happening here, and that's why we don't see Harald's face, we see only the silhouette, is Domi Reversi. I think the king was Domi Reversit there. I think the king maybe is there when he ripped off his horns and by ripping off his horns, maybe he kind of was able to de-transform himself a little bit from Domi Reversi. I would say as well that the situation may have been some sort of the king taking back the control of his body and saying to the people, to the soldiers, kill me, because I'm gonna kill you all. If you don't kill me, I'm gonna kill you all. And I see something like that happening. Okay, I see something like that being the case, and it can be very interesting, I will say. And probably after this, the king is not gonna be dead, because the king is super strong. He's like Loki basically, and they are not gonna be able to kill him. How are they gonna kill him? Like even like this, it's impossible. He's too strong. So we jump into Skopper and Shanks Tolkien, and there is underlying information here as well. Why are they in the jacuzzi? How long haven't we had a thingy? They are in the jacuzzi because Oda wants you to see Shanks' tattoo. Shanks has a tattoo on the arm, on the left arm, that is the same that Sommers has. Why is Sommers summoned in Elbaf as well, undressed? Because Oda wants us to see the tattoo that he has, and now he's showing us the tattoo that he has. This is 14 years before now. That means it is just before he was there with Luffy, Luffy got the fruit, Luffy was the thingy, he lost his arm, so this is before he had the arm. So there is this underlying conversation, so there is the tattoo, kind of Shanks is connected to Sommers. There is a period that we know, there is a period of time where, because it's confirmed by his brother, by Shamrock, that Shanks comes back to Morijua. So I think what Roger says to him when he's a kid, before separating ways, and he cries, is, Shanks, and I said it 1,000 times already here, Shanks, you are a Tenryubito, you are son of this guy, you are brother of this guy, and your family is rotten to the core. I'm sorry about it, but you can change your fate. After that, I think Shanks decides to no go with Boggy. That's why he mentions Boggy here. He says, I decided to not do like the Boggy thing, but I wanted to do like Boggy. He decides to not do like Boggy. He decides to go and find his family, probably. He meets the brother, stays some time there. He has a tattoo. That means he became a God's Knight. And after some time, after probably seeing the corruption and seeing how Roger was right the whole time, he decides to leave. They don't kill him because he is royal, and they don't kill him. But it's weird. It's weird that they will let him leave just because the status. There needs to be more to that family to what I'm saying. Okay, so I've been thinking as well, and I made a post about it yesterday or 2 days ago here on YouTube, that Sham in Japanese means fake, counterfeit means something that is not real, something that is faked, basically, impostor. Sham, rock. What if, and I'm probably do a video only about this, what if Garling and Rocks were brothers, and Shanks and Shamrock are maybe not even sons of Garling, but Garling is the uncle? What if these people were family? I explained in one video as well if Shanks may have been as well cloned with Shamrocks, and there are clones, blah blah blah, failed as well. It could be. There is a lot of mystery there, and I can't wait to check it more. Check my post, read all the posts I written there, because it makes sense. It makes sense. The Garling character doesn't seem like a fatherly figure. Not many people in One Piece have like this fatherly figure, apart from Kuma and a couple more. Not all of them have this sense, but it is interesting, and I am loving it. So I'm not sure if I can link a post, but I'm gonna try to link the post here, okay? So you can have a look. So there is another important thing that happens in the jacuzzi, that is they are talking about the time. Scopper Gaban says, "Oh, we haven't had a bath together like in 3-4 years, no?" And Shanks is like, "What are you talking about? It's been like 10 years since we separated ways, since Captain died." So Louis Arnott at the beginning of Elbaf says, do not dwell in Elbaf more than you should. Do not overstay your visit in Elbaf. Why? Because I think there is because the giant concept, okay, that they live longer, they are larger. There is a time constraint, like in Dragon Ball, when Son Goku and everyone, they go into the Chamber of Time, and they basically are working and they are training for 1 year, training for 5 years, but actually it's only 20 minutes outside. Something like that, I think, for Gaban. And that's why you see the color that is half white and half black, because he's getting older at a different pace, because he now overstayed his visit in Elbaf, okay? And he has a family in Elbaf, so now he's gonna be getting older at a different pace. I think that is what it means, the kind of the heads up from Louis Arnott, I think it was, and at the beginning of Elbaf, okay? Very interesting. Very interesting that Gaban, that is a human, he's not able to recognize this. The giants are not affected, because the giants they are born there, they have their bodies adapted to that, but I think a human it is, okay? And then, funnily enough, Ripley shows up, they are joking, hee hee, haha, the food, you scare me, blah blah blah. This is telling you, remember that they are humans and they are giants there, okay? They are talking about, oh, this is a house, blah blah blah. Funny thing as well, to divert our attention again between, oh, is this a reference for Sanji or is a reference for Zorro again? Is asking, oh, can you tell me some stories about Gaban before we met, like when you were on the ship and everything? And he's basically telling the wife that Gaban used to have a girl, a woman in every port. That is something that the Marines in real life, the pirates in real life, will do. They had wives, kids, families in every port, and when they were traveling there, they will tend to the families, and these families will not know about the other families, okay? And that is something real that Oda is using here in terms of for the sake of the piracy concept, okay, of the sailor concept. Very interesting as well. But he's able to stop him. So then there is a conversation here, again, the conversation continues, very interesting conversation continues, basically talking about Harald, that is the king, everyone loves him like a god, and Shanks says that he met him in Marejois. Shanks is eating with his left arm, okay? This is Oda the whole time telling you, this happened before Luffy, this happened before losing the hand. Remember, Shanks is very clean. He's still a God Knight at this point, okay? He hasn't left Marejois yet here. And he says, yes, I met him in Marejois. We couldn't talk much because we were where we are. So Shanks, he is already here thinking about leaving and plotting a way for leaving the God's Knights and leaving Marejois. He already realized here that he needs to leave, but obviously he can't just sail away and that's it. He needs to do something, and after that he's able to disappear, basically, and do whatever he wants, basically. And he's kind of concerned about the country, because I know he thinks that the interest that Imu and the God's Knights and the government have in Elbaf is to control them, and Shanks is more human, because obviously he grew up with Roger as a father, with Rayleigh as a father, and they are good guys, let's say. They're good guys like Luffy. But then we jump into the castle, we have like a giant burst of haki the comment is like, the massacre at the castle took place. Elbaf's most beloved king, Harald, the beloved, the benevolent, lost his life, so he died. I don't think the burst of haki is coming from Harald. We see after that some people, some giants are trying to enter again the castle to kind of rescue, and everyone is being killed there. We see a silhouette of Jarul being stabbed on the head. That's the state that he's at the moment, with a sword in the head. Why is that? Why is Harald? Why is Jarul in a silhouette? Jarul is in a silhouette because at this moment he has been possessed by Imu. He is looking like, now we see Gunko. He has the ringed, the upset eyes, that I love to say, the upset eyes, and he's being controlled. And the burst of haki again shows Imu's arrival, and probably when Loki stabbed Jarul, made Imu disconnect the remote connection from Jarul and kind of kick Imu away. That is what I think it happened. That is the display of power there. Because King Harald dies in that specific moment and only Jarul is there, and I think Gerd is hiding somewhere again, I said it again, because of that happens, and then we see a silhouette that enters a chamber, a room with a chest, and says that this is the forbidden devil fruit passed within the generations. So if it's passed from the generations, King Harald must have it. So in the chest we only have a normal fruit, and when the king dies, that power transforms into the fruit. So the next person, the heir, in this case Loki, that is not Loki the heir, is Jarundin, but Loki. Probably I think the silhouette is Loki, that he is gonna take the fruit, he's gonna eat it, because he's like, I am the next ruler, my father is corrupt, the senior staff member Jarul, the advisor, is corrupt, Imu has just shown up here, but I'm gonna eat the fruit and I'm gonna take over. So, and then is when Sangs arrive, to stop him, etc, etc, etc. So just think about it. Why he will not tell the truth, and he will say, oh, this thing happened to protect the honor of the father. In Vikings, dishonor, disloyalty is very bad. You need to die fighting to go to Valhalla. If you don't have honor, you don't go to Valhalla, okay? You are basically nothing. And all that is all that matters for the Vikings, is to die in honor and go and feast with their gods. So that's why Loki is trying to protect his father. If Loki would have said, no, my father has been corrupted by Imu and we are being manipulated, blah, 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 his father won't go to Valhalla. His father will lose all credibility, the royal family will lose all credibility, the governing powers of Elbaf, in this case Jarul, the elders, will lose all credibility, so he takes the blame. He is the person who is gonna say, yeah, my fault, sorry, just take me, my fault, I killed them all. But it's not true. It's not true. Probably Jarul, even I would say Jarul, being possessed, not Domi Reversi, but or Domi Reversi, or just possessed like Imu. He was maybe the one killing the rest of the people, or even killing even more the king and everything. So it is laid in a plan, very interesting for us to see that happening. At the moment, I don't see any other option. I know it may be controversial, and I know you may think, oh my god, that's crazy, but he was very loved by the people, and he doesn't want to kind of taint the image of his father. There is a super cool final panel in the chapter where we have the pirate giants arrive into a town, and they are very feared, they say, because Dorri and Brogi, and especially because the king was with them. The young king, that at the time was around 15, 16, was with them. He is looking very, very, very like a Bellamy, Doflamingo, Kaido kind of guy, very reckless, very I don't care about anything, I'm gonna do whatever I want. He's looking very like Loki. He destroys a full castle and says, oh, you know, there is a very cute girl here, a very cute princess that I want to see. And that is 109 years ago. Jarundin is 90 years old. Probably this is the princess that he's gonna take and he's gonna marry or something, or he's gonna have a kid called Jarundin, and he's gonna take her to Elbaf, and the Elbaf people is not gonna accept her because she's not from Elbaf. And we have seen that this is possible because we have the parallelism and example of Gaban being partner, being the husband of Ripley, that is a giant. So it is real. This can happen. So probably what we are seeing in the last panel in this unknown kingdom, I think it doesn't say the name of the kingdom, it is Jarundin's mom. And to be honest, if you think about it, it's cruel. It is conquer, but that is the Viking. The Viking history. They would go and raid and pillage and take the gold and take the weapons and take the woman and kill the man and kill the kids and conquer the land and, you know, be able to farm in these places as well, you know, take over a place. And the culture that the Vikings had at that time is specific, and if you read a little bit about it, you will see that the giants are behaving like that, and especially the ancient giants, in this case, the king. So I think everyone thought that he was a scum because of that, because he was reckless and he will do whatever he wants because he's strong, like Loki is doing now. And he changed. I think this woman, this human woman, this princess, changed him for the good, and the woman ended up dying. We don't know what happened to Jarundin family yet, but the woman ended up dying, and after that he married a ancient giant as well like him, and they had Loki. I wouldn't discard, and as I said it before in my Loki video, that I'm gonna put my Loki video here, that Kaido is connected with blood to King Harald because they look the same. They could be, you know, Kaido could be the little brother of them all because Kaido is around 60, something like that, and Jarundin is, as I said, around 90, 89 and 90, and Loki is, I think, 63 or 68, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, it will fall that Kaido, even being an old man, because he is half and half, he can age differently, and he doesn't live in Elbaf, he can age differently. It could be like that. Again, Jasan is being compared with this mixed-raced couple with the king as well, okay? And another comparative there is that Jasan in this episode is, Shanks was gonna say that he had a girlfriend in every port. A very pirate thing to do. And the king, if he's doing like this with this country, that destroying the castle and taking the woman, is because he has done it before, or he may do it before, he may do it again later. So it is something that connects these two characters in a way that Oda, between the lines, is telling you a lot of information while not saying it like that explicitly, okay? These are my thoughts in general about the episode. I know there are a lot of thoughts, but I want to open discussion, so feel free to go down there to the show more section, express your opinion, share with me if you think I'm wrong or mistaken with something, or if I missed something. I may have missed something as well. I read it already a couple of times, but I always like to read it more to see if I'm missing some parts. But I enjoy it. I swear to you, I enjoy it more. This one, I enjoyed it more than Domi Reversi and all these things that happened in the latest episode. For me, this has been the best, my favorite Elbaf episode so far. let's see what's gonna happen with the flashbacks and everything. Now we are going full into a flashback. We are gonna see King Harald being a problem, King Harald being bad, and we are gonna see how he transforms into a good guy. And later, when he loses probably both mothers of his kids, then when he's gonna be kind of tricked by Jarul and corrupted by Imu to ally with them and be dominated by them. If from the government are suppressing them and creating these kind of weaklings that they don't want to fight, that is something that is beneficial for the government, because their major threat, the threat is like, oh my god, the giants can be coming and attacking us. But if they are kind of neutralizing that, who is going to win? Who is going to attack us? We already eliminated the Lunarians, we already eliminated everyone, so who is going to come here and attack us if not the giants? Let's kind of do this technique, this kind of secret plan, and let's see how it pans. And it came good. It came good because at the moment we see that because of all the things that are going to be developing now in Elbaf, all the things happening now in Elbaf, we need to see the giants being a warrior people again, being warriors again, and Jarundin taking the lead, and Loki probably taking the general position. Like Loki will be the fighter, Jarundin will be the king. A lot of information, but let's open conversation. As I said, let's chat and let's talk about everything. As I said, I wanted to do Jarundin drawing for a very, very, very long time. I couldn't find past. I couldn't find juice to talk about him. I think here with the type of bird references for the sky saga references, with the connection with the brother, with he becoming king. Very interesting. I like it. This theory, this analysis may evolve as we see more Loki flashback, more Jarundin flashback, but for now, for the time being, with all the information I gathered and all the information I have, this, in my mind, as a creative, makes sense. It's something that will work. Oda always goes beyond that spot, and because he's a master in storytelling, he goes beyond that spot, but we will see what's going to happen with that. Let's paint this side a bit, this area, and this here, and we finish. Let's sign for today, okay? This is DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23, you can say it as you want, and this is the Mandrago's Cave. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope you liked the analysis and the theories about the giants, and yeah, feel free to like, subscribe, follow all these things that you do here in YouTube, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much, bye!